Well, to talk a little more about those reports, I'm pleased to be joined now by Marco Vicenzino. He's an international affairs commentator and the director of the Global Strategy Project. He joins us from London today. Welcome to the programme, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can I just ask you, first of all, what you make of these accusations? Are they credible, surprising?
No, it's not surprising at all. I mean, just this is what the public knows, and there's a lot going on that the public does not know. We're not living in a state of war, but I would say we're living in a state of approaching war. Continuous escalation, not just rhetorical, but also actions on several sides. We're looking primarily at the Taiwan Straits. Would be what looks everyone's pointing at is obviously a potential attack on Taiwan, but around that attack would be several other places that would fall subject to the conflict, and one of them being particularly Guam. Guam is obviously it's a big American military base. It would play a role in the helping to defend Taiwan, but it also serves as a major communication hub. What you have is underwater cables that connect Asia to the U.S. to communication and Australia to the U.S. via Guam. And if an attack happens and those cables are cut, you'll have a communications breakdown. And it's not only, and another issue is that if there were to be an attack on U.S. critical infrastructure, it's not just an attack on the U.S., it's an attack on the greater Western alliance, because the economies of the West are all interconnected. And being interconnected in that way, everyone's going to have an impact. So I think it's just, if we don't look at this purely as a China-U.S. issue, you have to look at it as China and broader Western alliance. And it's important to take that into account.
Indeed, and those reports suggest that actually similar espionage attacks could be happening in other places around the world beyond the United States. What kind of response do you think we'll see from other governments?
I mean, just give you one example. Kenya is having difficulties in paying its debt to China, and you're seeing attacks on government agencies within Kenya. Now, whether these have been verified or not, these are reports that are coming out. But I think these are just examples that using, short of going to war, is using hacking, cyber attacks. They do enough damage. Although they may not be visible to the human eye, they have a huge impact on the infrastructure of states, on the economies of states, and the ability of ordinary people to operate. So this is a very serious issue that we have at hand. That's like, once again, it's not just the U.S., it's the broader Western alliance and the broader free world.
Indeed, your point is well taken that this is a Western-China problem rather than just related to the United States. But clearly, the relations between Washington and Beijing are pretty fraught indeed. Do you think this is going to be particularly damaging to that relationship now?
There's been a lot of damages. Recently, you had the balloons issue with Chinese balloons flying over the U.S. I think this is just one major step in the continuing deteriorations of relations. So I don't see things getting any better. I see things getting worse. And what's happened here, and this is just one episode of a continuing episodes that'll be going on for the foreseeable future.
Indeed, and China has denied those allegations, no surprise really. But what can we say about US tactics, do you think, on the world stage? Are they particularly different to what we're seeing from China?
It's a game of defense and offense. Defense is ensuring that you're going to be covering your critical infrastructure. So what was uncovered right now has to serve as a lesson. All these lessons have to go into improving on a defensive basis within the broader Western alliance, and then in a sense is constantly sharpening your sword in terms of offense and counterattacks in terms of within the cybersecurity realm. So it's not just a defensive game. There is an offensive game, and obviously not much of that you want to share with your own public. But the idea is there's also a diplomatic angle to this, and the diplomatic angle is that when you find out these things going on, when possible, share it with your public and share it internationally, because this does involve this impacts the lives of ordinary people.
Marco Vicenzino, thank you very much indeed, sir, for your time and your analysis today.
Thank you. Thank you.